Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelita, Sahliah if you are new. If you're not, then welcome. On my channel I share my perspective and my lens on how I view reality, our realm that we share together collectively. I'm an angel sharing my angles of our realm. I'm a mother and I dabble in crypto, so that is me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Usually this would be a live, and I'd go live on Thursdays to share the luminary positions, but it's a pre-recorded video today because my son, he's turning 5, my son, my firstborn, and I'll be celebrating, you know. I'm celebrating, but I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to share how 2023 is gonna go. Like, I will be decoding, sharing from my perspective and my lens. I'll be decoding numbers, every single number from 0 to 10 and also all of the light luminaries. So that is the sun, the moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Chiron, that's another one, Fortuna. We're going into the light luminaries that dance above our head, and we'll also be decoding all of the star constellations too, including Cetus and Ophiuchus. So make sure you stick around, and of course all of the other ones, Virgo, Pisces, Aries, all of them we're going to go through, and we're going to decode it in a way. We're going to be decoding them using gematria, linking it to the periodic table, numerology, symbology as well. So we're looking deep, and mythology. So we're looking deep into it, and in essence we are synchronizing all of these informations together. So I thought, as this is a pre-recorded video, we will be getting into the transits, but as it's a pre-recorded video, I thought, why not give you a little taster, breaking down the number 0. That's where we're starting, at 0. So if you like how this goes, then make sure you stick around for the rest of the videos. And yeah, and then after 0, we will get into the weekly transits for, is it from the 8th? I believe it's from the 8th. From the 8th for the 7 days, from the Sunday to the Saturday from the 8th. So that's, how many days is that? To the 13th, from the 8th to the 13th of January. That's what we'll be getting into, and we'll go into the moon phases anyway, and that is all about Mars stationing direct. So make sure you stick around for that as well. And yes, happy expanding. I'll see you when we're talking about 0. Welcome, welcome. We are now going to decode 0. And as I said before, we will be looking at different perspectives on the same thing, which is 0, to deepen our knowing about 0. So these different perspectives that I will be using will be gematria, numerology, symbology, and mythology, and my own knowing as well. So let's get right into it. So the first perspective we will be looking from is the perspective of gematria. From my lens, gematria in simplicity measures the consciousness level. So when it comes to 0, it measures the weight of consciousness. So when it comes to 0, it's letting me know that 0 equates to 64. So we will now take that. We're just sticking with ordinal, so this is simple gematria basically, and we are now going to take that number in simple gematria and link it to the periodic table. So for those who don't know, we link it back to the periodic table because our realm is made out of elements. It's made out of elements, which is the gods basically. Everything falls back down into the periodic table. So measuring the consciousness level through gematria, linking it to the actual element, it helps deepen our knowing in terms of the actual energy, what resides in the energy basically. So this links to 64 in the periodic table, which is Gad gadolinium. Took me a while to pronounce that. So that links to 64 in the periodic table. So gadolinium, I can't say it the best, but it is a silvery white metal when oxidation is removed. And what also stands out to me is that it reacts with atmospheric, I'm not the best at pronouncing words, atmospheric oxygen or moisture. So there's a reaction there when it hits into oxygen and moisture, which is quite vast in our realm. But not only that, on a deeper level, it links to hydrogen as well. So the 6 and the 4, when it comes to like the rules of numerology, you add it together, which then equates to 10, and then that becomes 1, because 0 isn't actually anything. But depending on how deep you'd like to get, you can look at even 10 in the periodic table, combine that too, and then also break it down into 1, which equates to hydrogen. And again, I just find that interesting because that is one of the most common elements found in our realm, in our bodies, in our plants, in our food. It's just everywhere, hydrogen. So don't worry too much if this is going over your head at any point, or it just seems overwhelming. I will link it all together at the end. Okay, so we're moving on to now the root word, because I think it's so good to not only look at the mathematical aspect through gematria and the periodic table, but also the root word and the root meaning of it. So 0, the etymology of 0, it came from the Arabic word called cipher. Spelled as you see on there, I'll write it on there, meaning like empty place, desert, or naught. And there was another one saying something done in secret. So I find this interesting as well. We are going to bring all of this together, but let's jump into the symbology and the mythology, and then we're going to link it all together in one. Now, when it comes to symbology, I essentially like to look at the symbol and what stands out to me, I go by basically. So for me, with 0, I'm just seeing a complete connection. I'm seeing it completely connected. This is where I see how it can be everything, but also nothing at the same time. This to me is a symbol of showing, how can I put it, 0 point energy. Now we're kind of going to slide into the mythology of 0 too, because when it comes to the symbol, there's nothing much other than it's constantly connected. The energy, the circuit's not broken, it's all there. But meaning there's also no contrast. So this is why it's also nothing. It can be seen as the egg, it can be seen as the place where everything is birthed from, because it is all and nothing at the same time. So when it comes to the mythology now, I feel this slides in really nicely to what we as humans have been trying to describe and explain and to live and to worship and all of that stuff. In essence, it is this symbol called 0. Now I see 0 as it being all and everything, but also nothing at the same time. The source. So what people have been trying to label and explain and to search and to worship and to seek and to pray for, what people have been doing that for decades and centuries, and what they call God, in essence, I see it as 0. 0 point energy, source, frequency, basically, from everything. No, everything is birthed from 0.
So in essence, zero is the source. It's the element that allows all to be and exist. So this is why I love linking it back to gematria and the periodic table, because it linking to the element that is reactive to oxygen. It just instantly reacts, meaning because it's the first one, everything comes from it. So it's extremely reactive. Linking also to hydrogen, where that's a very potent element too. It's everywhere. It's found in a lot of things, and zero is part of that, because for all to be birthed from zero, it has to hold them elements and them frequencies. So in terms of mythology now, zero essentially, and the energy behind zero, it's what we have been trying to describe as God. Now please pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm trying to make this as clear as possible. I am not saying that zero and the elements and the energies around this vibrational frequency links into the character we've labeled as the Lord. It's not Muhammad, it's not Jesus, it's not all of these characters we've given power to. It is that element we have been trying to describe for decades and centuries as what God is. It's literally the vibrational source, the neutrality. Zero is also neutral, and that essentially is God. It's from that neutrality which births all. It births all, basically. And of course I see numbers even more potently, so do check out 6 and 4 too. When it comes out, stick around for that. But essentially, it falling into 6 and 4, also I see 6 as the material and 4 as time. So I'm seeing from zero, it really births, it breaks down to 1. Of course that falls into 1, so it's the first anyway. But within the material realm and within time, the source power is there, basically. The zero element, the neutrality, is there for the material to happen within time. You see, because I see 6 and 4 as the material and time. The zero is there for the 6 and 4 to exist in our reality. So and yeah, so in essence, that's what zero is. It holds the vibrational frequency that creates and allows all. So in essence, like I says, we've been calling it God, we've been calling it all these things and everything, but in essence it holds the vibrational frequency of love, which is love and acceptance. For anything to exist in our realm, love and acceptance is necessary. Neutrality is necessary, which is zero, where everything is birthed from. We've looked on the periodic table, it's super reactive. So the element, L is God's, it's the God's L. We can clearly see it's super reactive because it's necessary. It has to be so reactive. Whether it's a positive or negative experience, it doesn't really matter. It's acceptance and it's love, and that's zero. That's the number zero. So to summarize, before we get back into next week's moon transits and Mars going direct, zero, how I see it. So I've adapted all of this knowing and I apply it to my life whenever I see these numbers appear in my reality. This helps me deepen my knowing of, okay, what is to come. So in essence now, when I'm seeing a zero, I see it as an amplifier of energy. So whatever it's next to, essentially it is amplifying it, because it is technically nothing and everything at the same time. It will literally amplify whatever number it's next to. So as I said before, 0 is neutrality, is that 0 point, that pure source essentially. And it's very reactive. So this is why it has the ability to amplify everything, because it's very reactive in the quantum field of this realm. So you can use this perspective as a way to empower you, I guess. Like, see it as something that, or I choose to see it as something that is so amplifying and empowering from 0 point energy source, but it is neutral, so it can be amplifying in either direction, positive or negative. But like I says, when it comes to positive and negative anyway, it depends on your point of view. Something negative could bring you so much more positivity in the future. So was it ever really negative anyway? So that's it essentially. It's like 0 will amplify you. It will amplify you. It's got all the properties and components to do that. And it's the touch of source. It is the touch of love and acceptance. So just go for it. But anyway, before I go on too much, this is already long. If you did like this style of decode, do let me know in the comments below. There will be more like this. As I said before, we're going through every single number. We're also touching on all the light luminaries, so as well as the planets, as well as the star constellations. So do stick around, but this is already gone on for so long, so get ready for the transits now and Mars stationing direct.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So I do hope you had, it was a nice little taster of how I decode anyway. Make sure you do stick around for more if you'd like. Now let's get into Mars. So yeah, let's get into this week. The only transits happening this week are Mars stationing direct and the moon. So that's all that's happening this week really. So that's what we will go over and start with. So we're getting to Mars and then we'll move on to how the moon, the movement, the mover of emotions, how it will impact us. So Mars has been retrograding since, was it October, I believe? It's been retrograding since October, and it is stationing direct on the 12th of January. So where is Mars for one? Mars is in Taurus. So for the past, it hasn't retrograded since, was it the beginning of 2020? So in essence, and then it began retrograding a few months ago. So in essence, Mars is the fiery planet. It's ruled by passion, drive, what you're literally attracted to, your drive, you're really passionate about it, what gets you moving. It's literally what gets you moving. Let's look into a little bit of the mythology of Mars, which gives a deeper knowing. So Mars, linking it to in terms of dimensions, it's like the third dimension, so it's a 3D reality. That's why it's a 3D reality. And in mythology, Mars links to gods, more so like, the god of war. It's like, okay, he's the god of war, and this is how it links to the third dimensional reality, because look at our realm. Look at our realm. All of the it's in 3, isn't it? When it comes to God, you think of 3, the Godhead. So this is why Mars is associated with that. And it's basically how you are, your drive for living out your material experience. I don't want to get too carried away with all the mythologies and stuff. There will be a whole video decoding Mars to get it and to know it from multiple different angles and perspectives. But in essence, Mars is the one that gives you your drive and passion on how you are going to experience the material plane. And it has been, you know, making its way, and it's retrograded. So in essence, over the past few months, your drive in how you go out into this plane has slowed down, or not necessarily slowed down, but it's giving you the opportunity, because it's going backwards, for you to rethink how you've gone about your life. And it's like, okay, do I really want to do it that way? Any things that you had kind of missed and didn't get to do, it's popped back up, and it's like, okay, but now it's going direct. So it's going to finish, you know, rethinking it all, and it's going direct into Taurus again. It's moving in Taurus. Now, linking it to Taurus, Mars being in Taurus, as I said, it is literally your drive, your passion, your go, what lights you up. In the material plane, it's how your energy is going to move, basically. That being in Taurus, Taurus is the fueler of like the second house, which is the material plane. It is the pleasures of the world. It is love, sensual pleasures as well. Money also. So bear in mind, it being in Taurus, which fuels all of that, it's go time. So it is go time. Have things popped back up in your life in terms of like, okay, this is how I would like to, this is my passion, this is what I truly like to do, this is how I'd like my money to be, how much money I'd like, where I'd like to make money, in what area. And in essence, it being in Taurus, this passion, this drive, and whatever you've had in your head is go time. Like, that's the best way I can say it. It is go time. Mars stationing direct. You've got the energy, that passion now to carry that out, and it is in Taurus before it will enter Gemini, but it's not entering Gemini 2 yet, so don't worry about that. It is literally about how you want to experience your physical reality right now. That is what it's about. How are you going to experience it? How are you going to experience it? Yeah, it covers money, it covers love, it covers everything, because it's in Taurus. Like, I know we often think of Venus more to do with love, but Mars is your passion. It's like, ooh, it is what attracts you. It's your attraction, basically. So your attraction, your drive, your go, your God, your G-O-D, your generator, operator, and destroyer. How your energy is generated, how it operates, and then how it eventually just gets destroyed to then generate again. It's in the material realm. Like, it's so potent like that. And this is why this year is a transformative year, and I'm actually going to do a video on that. So I'm going to do a video on that, but you will see this one first. So keep an eye out for that. It will be on a Friday. It literally might be tomorrow. So yeah, but this year it's going to be a transformative year, and I see it from so many angles. So many angles. It's really now the time to know what you want. Know what you want, and get ready to experience that, because your passion, your drive will make that happen. We will be operating through, we're still operating through the Sagittarius lens, as it's still Sag season. The sun hasn't moved to Capricorn yet. It does that next week. It does it next week. So in essence, we're getting this nice blend of energies. We're getting Mars now. Oh, I'm stationing direct. We're going whilst we're still operating. Our ego is still operating through the Sagittarius lens with the arrow. That is the direction and focus I want to go in before the ego, the sun, the solar power moves into Capricorn, where these ideas, your mind, where it becomes solidified. Okay. So I don't want to ramble on too much. Let's get into the moon. So the moon, let me get my book. I do hope this makes sense. It's so different doing like a weekly thing pre-recorded because I'm used to like at least a little feedback, but it's fine. The moon on the 9th, so all that's happening with the moon on the 9th, it will be transitioning into Leo, and then I'll have these on the screen, so don't worry, because it's not on the board behind me, so I'll just write it. And then on the 12th, it is transitioning into Virgo, which interestingly enough, on the 12th, that is when Mars stations direct. So yeah, what that's telling me essentially is, with the moon being in Leo on the 9th, anticipate emotions to come up to say, this is what I truly like to do. This also is, the moon will be, it's recently a full moon. It would recently be a full moon. Yeah, so it would recently be a full moon, so things will be illuminated. You will know, like, it will be clear. You can trust your intuition. It will be clear. It being in Leo, Leo represents like the heart space, the heart chakra, and like green. I see green when I think of Leo and the heart space, and earth, the material, basically. In essence, it's like your heart. What do you truly intend to experience? What do you want to do? Your passion to say, you know what, nah, this is who I am, like the Leo heart on a sleeve type of thing. This is truly who I am, and you know, it's me. Like confidently you. Things will become illuminated in that sense just before Mars, your energy to say, yeah, let's go, I'm going, goes direct. So you're gonna have that moving of emotions that might come up to say, this is truly my passion now. This is truly my passion. Virgo, as it moves into Virgo, I've learned a new concept about Virgo. It's actually fueled by Vega, so not necessarily Mercury, but the asteroid or luminary called Vega. So that's a whole new other mythology story. Like the video if you'd like to see that come up. It's gonna anyway. But this, in essence, I often think Virgo is just very analytical and like decisive, but seeing it from the lens of it being fueled by Vega, it's more of a case of wanting to like give out your love and serve, basically. So in essence, it can still be, you know, analytical in a way, because you're choosing to kind of, you want to really give your love and serve in a way that would be beneficial. So you're gonna make sure you consider all aspects, so you're serving how you choose to. So after your heart space is illuminated, as the moon wanders through Leo, it's then touching into Virgo, and it will become clear how you would like to serve, how you would like to serve, how you would like to give your love and give your heart now as it comes in after Leo. And it's so beautiful actually saying this out loud, because it links in with the zodiac story even more. It's just like, this is my heart, it's what I truly like to do. And now Virgo comes in and it's ready to serve that to the collective. This is our current reality, and at the end of the day, it's about serving the collective. You know, it's serving each other. And it's not like a case of, oh, servant, like a servant type of thing. No, we live in a symbiotic relationship within this realm. It is about giving, receiving, serving, pleasing. That's what it's about. So yeah, it would be lovely to know if ideas come up for you around about this time, like, wow, I could truly do it like that. And like, not only just that, but your Leo, your heart space. If what I said resonates, I would really love for you to type it in the comments, let me know. I'd really love that. It would be amazing. But this, knowing how you would serve now, and the moon is still, it's waning out, so it's from a full moon and it's fading away. It's still illuminated, so you're gonna clearly know. You can trust your intuition and how you would like to serve the collective. I'm just saying that, but it could literally be, you know, in your work, or in how you'd like to be with your family, if you've got a business or a partner. So you need to link it to your life. We also, remember, we do also have Uranus. That's still retrograding, so keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. But with them going direct on the 12th, I'm anticipating, you'll know, Mars is going direct, so action is going to happen now. Basically, it's going to happen. It will be illuminated. The moon will illuminate it and get the emotions and the energy moving. And then Mars will literally pull the energy. It will take you there. It will take you there, the passion. And things will start moving. Things will start moving. But as I like to kind of come to a close, I really like to bring it back to the present moment and now. So for the present moment, it's a little bit difficult because I'm ahead of time. But for today, it will be, the moon will be in, is there anything else that's changed? The moon is in Gemini right now. It is in Gemini today. So if at any point you're feeling chatty, if you're feeling like your emotions are moving in a way that's really allowing you to communicate your feelings, basically, ruled by Mercury, the messenger, fueled. I like to say fueled instead of ruled. We're kind of changing the lingo, but that is the energy of today. Is there anything else coming up? We're in this Gemini moon for the rest of the week, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, trust yourself. If you, oftentimes I feel when the moon is in Gemini, I've noticed it's like I've really, someone is just there to listen to me, for me to communicate, you know, like, this is how I truly feel, like on a deeper level. I don't really go so deep when I'm talking, when the moon's not in Gemini. Like I'm just chatty. I'm like, oh wow, I've actually said that. So yeah, that is the energy for today. Also, people, do remember, get your astrology calendar. It's on Etsy, people, and I've still not got like the physical copy, which I'm still waiting. But as I says, we're breaking away from time, aren't we? We're breaking away from the matrix illusion, fake illusion of time. So I'm content and I'm confident it will arrive when it's meant to. However, the digital version is ready for anyone who'd like the digital version. And I don't know, because it's kind of like little late, I'm contemplating to give January and February out for free. We'll see, and add a little extra because of the delay. Like, it's just not ready, but I'm not letting this slow me down just because I'm not ready at the Gregorian calendar time. We all know it's not the new year, in the middle of a season, but yeah, this is it. This isn't the finished one, but yeah, it has everything it's fueled by, which zodiac just here, the elements as well. You've got the whole month transit here, so you can see it literally all in one place. And then you have the polarity of the zodiacs too. And at the back, you've got all of, you see, you've got all of the, like, all of the codes basically. You'll know everything. You'll know it. You'll know all the symbols for water, fire, ether as well, yin yang, feminine, all the constellations and luminaries. And yeah, And this is what this looks like. Here we go. So you have all of the transits happening, and as you can see, Mars on the 12th, see, station direct. SD means station direct. So make sure people, if you'd like the physical, just go on the link and just save it, star it, save it, so you know to come back to it, and I'll keep reminding you. But it's going to be so much easier to follow with the calendar. And not only that, like I said, because this follows the actual stars and luminaries above our head, no other calendar does this from what I've known, unless there's an astronomy calendar out there, because this is basically astronomy, because that's what it is. Astrology, like, in itself, but yeah, that's another video. But yeah, it's gonna be easier to follow along. And sneak peek, if you're in like the financial markets, this calendar will help you follow the stuff. Because a little key, mainstream astrology impacts the world stage and what they would like to do there. This astrology has the ability to gain generational wealth, because that's the true movement of the markets up here. So I'm not saying too much more about that, but if you follow me on my journey, trust me, just know you will be okay. You will be okay. But that is it. I hope you've had some benefit from this. If you did, please give me a like and a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for next week's live. I will be live next week, and I highly appreciate you. Honestly, thank you. Bye. You know, I was really contemplating, like, should I come on live on this? Because my main videos, I'm changing it up a bit. I'm doing it more like my voice, and then I was like, should I show myself? But then I'm usually showing myself for live, so I thought, yeah, for pre-recorded videos for Thursdays.